everyone. I'm Brooklyn Calloway, and today is the first episode of The Guts to Fail. And I have one of my favorite people. Her name is Sydney Booth. She is getting connected right now. The Guts to Fail is about having the guts to fail, and we're using StreamYard for the first time, and it is kind of acting wonky. Sydney, just to let you know, it is saying that your devices are not connected, meaning you have to allow like audio and visual. So maybe if we disconnect on the phone, maybe it'll allow you to connect to StreamYard. Okay. So she is disconnecting, copying on here. I just want to introduce myself to you guys who have joined Bungalow U in the past month or so. I'm Brooklyn Calloway, owner of Brookie Lynn's Bungalow. And throughout the years, there she is. Throughout these last 7 years, I have found a common thread between me and the other business owners that I talk to and work with, especially in Bungalow U. It's that we all have the guts to fail. We all have the guts to just give it a go and try and see what happens. And we all know that we either win or learn. There's really not any failing. And I was just talking to my friend Patrick over at my house earlier, and he talked about this time that he spent $100,000 on videos that he thought that he needed, and then the whole YouTube came out and everything, and his DVDs and stuff became obsolete. However, that experience for him launched him into so many other things, and the successes that came from it, even though they weren't what he thought was going to happen, he didn't see that as the success of them. He saw something completely different. Something much bigger and better came out of his guts to fail with those videos and that experience. So, Sydney, I'm going to try to see what's going on here and switch y'all to a little act stream. Oh, there. It's just a button. I didn't know how to click the button. Hi. Can you talk? Let's see if we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
No. Allow your mic. Unmute. Let me unmute you. Unmute. Oh, you muted yourself. So now you. Oh, God. No. Oh my gosh. Hold on, maybe. Hello?
Yes.
Oh. I was muted. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. All right. So I have all these questions here to ask you. But really and truly, I think that we're just going to go through this. And I can hear you, Sydney. Oh, good. Good. Some people are talking. Just so you know, for Facebook users, if you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, allow access. And what will happen when you allow access is it will, instead of saying Facebook user, will actually get to see who you are and be able to call you by name and say, oh my gosh, look who's talking. So anyways, you only have to do that once, and you don't have to do it this time. You can wait till the next one next Thursday. But I want to welcome Sydney Booth from Sydney Booth Boutique Salon. She is in my mastermind group, and I've gotten to know her really well over the past month, 2 months. We've known each other for a while, but why don't you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, your background, and how, and you go ahead and tell them how you met me and things like that, and then I'll go into the questions.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me. Very exciting. My name is Sydney Booth. I'm the owner and stylist at Sydney Booth Boutique Salon. I have been doing hair for 11 years. I have an organic product line, I.C.O.N, that I use and sell. I also have Julio Designs, jewelry and gifts. I love what I do. I've known from a very young age I wanted to be a hairstylist. I love to make people feel really great about themselves. Self-experience. When you walk into my salon, you're greeted with love and you walk out feeling even more loved. I love what I do. I love seeing people and getting to talk to people for a living. And I met Brooklyn through a friend of mine, Mindy Norris. She's married now. I almost said her last name. And I went to bingo at Dee Dee's downtown for the 1-year anniversary, and it was life-changing. Bingo is everything. And since then, I became a part of the mastermind group, and my business has just skyrocketed. And I owe it all to you, Brooklyn. You're just fantastic.
Well, I appreciate that so much, and I hope that, like you make people feel fantastic. I really want to help people become better business owners because I know that when I started getting better and creating processes, things really started to change for me in my personal life because I wasn't working so hard to accomplish the same tasks. And so that's really my mission. And also, I think why we resonate with each other so well is because we like helping other people. We like making them smile. But hi, Cindy. Cindy is here and talking to Sydney, and that's a difficult one, but I'm going to work on it. So the whole point of this 30-minute interview is to really dive deep with some of the things that you've struggled with, how you got started. One of my questions is, what would you tell yourself now? Like your now self, what would you tell yourself when you first started, and why? What was some pivotal points for you, like things that caused you to pivot in your business, or add the boutique part, or even go to I.C.O.N products, things like that, and help other people grow themselves through the journey and the choices you've made. So let's get started with that. I want to ask how you decided to become a hairdresser, and did you do anything before?
So right out of high school, I graduated early and I went right into hair school at Paul Mitchell. I was 18 years old. I knew what I was going to do, and I just went head first into it. Honestly, sorry, I think my industry is special and unique in the sense that we not only touch people's hair, but we touch their lives. And there's just a real uniqueness about what we do. And it's a community. It's not just an individual's game.
Yeah. So you feel like you're building a community with the people that you talk to.
Yes, not only my clients, but other hairstylists. My goal with the I.C.O.N products is to help educate people, not sell, but educate you on the benefits of the products, and then they speak for themselves.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your background and so that you can't. A lot of us use products, well, I wouldn't say a lot of us, but a lot of new business owners fall into the category of, okay, I got to get up and running. They're bootstrapped for cash. They want to use products that are good and smell good, but they don't break the bank, right? That, and they don't really focus on quality. They focus more on quantity. And the quality of what you use is important. So make that distinction between on why specifically. I mean, you've said I.C.O.N product, but why specifically did you go to that, and what were you using before you knew better?
So I was using kind of a smorgasbord of different products because I didn't have anything I really found of any value personally. The reason I love the I.C.O.N products, every product is individually made with organic ingredients. The foundation of I.C.O.N is to really put things in people's hands that they're gonna benefit with. They're healthy, they're organic, they're unique products in the sense that you can't just buy them on Amazon or in a grocery store. You have to get them through a stylist, through a salon. They're exclusive products. They're not something you can just buy anywhere. And that's what makes them special. That's what makes it quality versus quantity.
Yeah, and also tell about the person behind that product and what she was struggling with and why she created them.
So Kiara is owner and creator of I.C.O.N products. and I hope she would be okay with me saying she was a 2-time breast cancer survivor. And her first product that she created was to help women who have lost their hair, to help promote new hair growth, and to finally put something on their hair and in their scalp that cleanses, detoxes, and really helps them to feel better and look better overall. I mean, chemo hair can be rough. My mom's also a breast cancer survivor, and she loves these products because she feels good. She feels clean and taken care of.
Right. So, do you, based on what you've learned from like the masterminding group and stuff, and I won't go into all the details, the story behind the products is what really builds your know, like, and trust factor.
Right.
It's what really tells people that these products are special, not necessarily that they're exclusive, not necessarily that they're organic, but they were made by someone that you can definitely trust, because someone who survived breast cancer twice isn't going to put something bad on their body. They're going to be more discerning about what they do, what they put into it. So the story behind it matters. And so your story has some twists and turns as well. I think you had mentioned that your mom, right, had survived breast cancer,
Yeah.
and you know, health issues and stuff like that had made you more discerning, and that background kind of connected you, and is a common thread. So to me, what I teach people is to use your story to build the relationship and find your know your vibe, and then you can find your tribe. And people that trust that kind of thinking and need that kind of product, when they hear you say that, they immediately glom on, or glam on in your case, right? And they're holding on because they're like, I trust this, I believe in it. And so when you pivoted towards that, you were just kind of like a mismatch until you found that thing that really you could glom onto and really be behind and trust, and know if you trust that, you're going to be doing better by your clients.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So okay, tell me, have you changed salons? Have you ever like moved, and was there ever a struggle with an environment or the people that were surrounding you? I know that sometimes I've got a cousin that is a hairdresser, and I know that she's been in situations that were very Saturday Night Live, meaning it was like the stereotypical hairdresser, situation where they're all like at each other's throats or whatever, and then they're like, oh, and so have you ever been in any of those situations? And if so, what do you notice looking back that it did to you as a business owner?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the very first salons I worked in was more of a commission-based salon. It was bigger, lots of women, which, I mean, most times can equal lots of drama.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm sure there was a little bit of a fallout. And, it kind of the motto, grow or go, is what I like to live by. And that was also a motto they lived by. And while I appreciate all the experience and lessons I was taught, I realized from working in a big group like that, I do better working on my own. I love owning my own business. I love being in control. I like being the boss. And I get to be one on one with each customer and give them a completely unique experience versus being in a big salon. It's it's just not for everybody. It worked for me. I loved it initially. I learned a lot from it, but I'm glad to be where I'm at now because I'm thriving in my own thing.
Okay. So tell people that maybe are in a situation where they're working for someone else and they're wanting to break off and go on their own, but it's scary to have the overhead and the bills and be in charge of your own taxes, and bringing people up and setting this up and having a point of sale and being in charge of ordering all your inventory. And talk about the trade-off. Talk about the trade-off from letting someone else do all that and working for commission versus doing that all yourself and taking on that responsibility. Talk about that transition.
It can definitely be scary. I mean, I was scared for sure when I initially left because I knew I had a paycheck, each week, and it's a matter of you can't let everything in life scare you. If you really have a dream and want to live it, you got to step out there. You've got to get out of your comfort zone. Say lots of prayers. Get a loan if you need to. Ask a family member or friend for help. But there's ways. You don't just have to stay in the normal lane. It's okay to branch out. I enjoyed getting out on my own. I was scared every day. Like, how the heck am I going to pay my bill? What am
Mm,
I going to do? But I gained new clients, and through experiences they had with me, they told their family and friends. And like you said, your vibe attracts your tribe. I mean, that's how you get your clients. It's more of they mesh with you. Y'all blend. I mean, I don't know. I personally, I have a big personality, and I'm a go-getter, and that's how I roll. So it was scary, but it was also liberating. I mean,
right.
I took it as it was. I went and bought products at the time I liked. I found a fantastic distributor with Code 80, and they take care of you. They make sure you have all the products you need, all the color you need. It's about making relationships, and that takes time to build those. But once you have those set in place, things fall into place for you.
Right. Right. Have you ever experienced a situation where, let me put it this way. Do you, in the past, okay, so I've had several times where I have had a person that I work with, and come hell or high water, I'm going to stick with them because I can trust them. They do what they say they're going to do, and I can rely on them. And being able to rely on other people has been, when you find someone you can rely on, it's a big damn deal. Like, there's not a lot of people in this life that you can rely on, especially not in business, because they don't care about your business as much as you do. But when you find those people, you really stick with them. And then when you find the people that don't, sometimes there's nowhere else to go. Do you have any situations that you can talk about that you really like this product or this place, but you couldn't trust the people running it to do what they said they were going to do? Have you ever run into that situation? And if so, how'd you overcome it?
I don't know that I so much have had that. I mean, because after the initial salon I was in, I just went out and took the bull by the horns and I opened my own place. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that I've really had a lot of that personally.
Right. Um, okay. So, what was one of, okay, besides moving in the salon, um, what was a time that was kind of like scary for you, maybe in your salon or moving to the salon? And then have you ever changed salon since then, like moved to a different salon suite?
Yes,
Have,
several.
is there ever been a time where, t- tell me why you moved? Like, what were the reasons behind you moving to another salon suite?
Well, I started in the Fort Worth area. That's where I lived at the time. Honestly, I changed to grow. Maybe I wasn't getting enough business in those locations. I wasn't, they didn't have walk-in traffic, and starting out, you kind of need more of that foot traffic coming in the door if you don't have as much of a referral business. So that's really why I continued to move. I moved to more populated areas where I could meet more people, get my cards in more people's hands, and people would talk about me to their family and friends.
Mm-hmm. I like how you said that you changed to grow, because sometimes people get sedentary and like, well, this is working. I don't want to change because change equals chaos. And a lot of times in that chaos, there's a struggle. But when we're struggling, we're growing. We're learning how to get better. So you were willing to shut down your salon, move everything, change what your normal was in order to experience some growth, because you knew what you were doing, you were staying stagnant. Um, so when the whole episode is about, the whole series is about the guts to fail, and just trying something new. Was there a move that you did that you're like, yeah, that wasn't the best move? Was there ever one where you did sort of fail, but you learned and you grew from it?
Absolutely. I moved to an area I thought was going to be great at the time. It actually wasn't. And with that, I kind of had to take a step back. My business just was not growing, and I was in complete panic mode. And at the time, my dad had a state farm business, and I went to work for him for a couple of years. I still did hair on the sides, kept my hands in it, but I mean, I just kind of did give up for a little bit. It just wasn't going right. And after he unfortunately passed, I was like, this is the time for me to get back into what I love to do. I moved into a salon in Louisville, and
Or the colony, we don't know. Sure.
They came back. They were like, oh my gosh, you're doing hair again? Where? I don't care where it is. I'll drive to see you. You know, you have to know that anytime you change locations, even if it's the same room or a different room in the same salon, people don't like change. You may, but you've got to be okay losing those people in order to get new people.
Right. That's true. So when you lose people from moving, that's sort of like something I just heard. What I was listening to a webinar, and it said it was about basically your email list and sending emails to your list, and if you aren't getting unsubscribes, you aren't doing it right. So the thing is you can get people on your list, and the person on the thing had over 60,000, must be nice, emails on their email list, but they had 60,000 and they were getting unsubscribes a lot. But it was because they were whittling down their audience to the perfect audience. And Mark Cuban, I've said this many times throughout teaching and stuff, he had the shortest speech ever for the Dallas Digital Summit back in like 2015. And he said, I'm going to say something. This is going to be my whole speech. I would rather you have 40 super fans than 4,000 people that don't pick up anything you lay down. Whittle it down. Less followers, but better, more specific ones. And for you, the people who fall off because they can't jump rooms, those aren't your people. You said it in the very beginning, you're a go-getter. I don't know why that just kind of made me trip. Whatever. I must be emotional for some reason. But those aren't for you. You are a go-getter, and you want to surround yourself with people like that. You're not working for commission. You're working for the freaking relationships. And those relationships are going to, that relationship, quality over quantity. Yes, Cindy. Yes. That quality of the relationships that you're building is going to create a concrete around you that's going to insulate you from the next coronavirus that won't happen. We're not talking about that, but if that ever does happen, that kind of relationship is what insulates you. They're the ones that buy your home hair care kits. They're the ones that, dye their kids' hair pink and blue and whatever the hell they want me to buy from you. So that is what it's all about, is building the relationships. And every time somebody sits down in your chair and you talk to them and you just be your damn self, that's important. That is important. And Brooklyns Bungalow, that's what that was all about. And I taught crafty workshops and furniture refinishing. And somehow along the way that turned into social media marketing. But my goal has always been the same. Well, let's be real. Your goal is to support yourself with something that you love and passionate, that you love and that you're passionate for and doing, right? So I was passionate about that. Now I'm passionate about this. So my passion comes through. I build relationships first, and the rest takes care of itself. And I think that's very much who you are. And having the guts to fail is starting now because coronavirus. That whole, we're going to talk about that just for the next 4 or 5 minutes, but that was such a difficult time for everyone. I want to know how you came through that, what did you do in the meantime to make ends meet for your salon? And then I want you to end with, what advice would you give your starting self back then that you would say as you now?
Okay. So, I mean, obviously it's a scary time. I mean, there's a lot of information we still don't know. But like I said earlier, I am a go-getter. I wasn't just going to sit on my butt and do nothing. So I was like, what can I do to make some money? So I made hair color kits that I delivered to people's houses so they could touch up their roots while they were at home. Even though nobody saw them, I had to have those roots done. I get it. I put my I.C.O.N product in people's hands. At least if you're at home, let's give you some good things to use so that your hair is going to be in great shape when you come back to see me. Let's see, what else? I gave you the fun little different colors kiddos could put in their hair. That was a huge hit. Everybody loved it.
Yes.
I made it work. I sold jewelry. I sold products. I did whatever I had to do to make some money. It's not that I necessarily couldn't survive without it, but I love to keep working. I love to be out there. I love to continue building those relationships. All of my clients to date are friends, they're family, they're not just clients. And I take care of them. If that means me delivering something to their house during quarantine, that's what I'm going to do. That's just the way I roll. But back to your other question, what would I give myself? What advice would I give myself now? I think before I was scared, it was new, and just to not let fear be the reason that you don't go out for something that really matters to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really good advice because you're here. How many years have you been in business now?
11.
11. So 11 years later, not one fear that you ever had really reached fruition. And even if it did, it wasn't as bad as you thought it would be. And you were just like, all right, next, moving on, moving up, going to change to grow. I love that. I really love that, Sydney. I also like that during coronavirus, you and I, towards the end of it, social distancing was practiced. I got together for a day, and I was able to dive in with you in social media marketing. And I know that you were also using the downtime, to prepare for the time that wasn't a downtime. And you knew that the summer was coming. You knew that when all these ladies got done with coronavirus, they're like rushing to beat down your door. So you prepared for that. And I think that's that can't be overlooked, because knowing the only thing you can count on is that things change. If things are bad, you got to know, guess what? They're going to get better. And if they're really good, you better freaking appreciate them, because they're going to get bad. And so if you can count on change, then it helps adjust your attitude no matter what end of the spectrum you're on. And you really embraced that. During coronavirus, you knew things were hard, they were a struggle, but in Sydney fashion, you put your big boy panties on, hold them up tight, and you're like, I'm going to freaking prepare for the good times because they're coming. And I really appreciate that from you. And that's why you're my first episode.
Yay!
And it's 10:30 and we made it. We had the guts to fail. That's awesome. So I really appreciate you. I know you've probably got to go do a lot of people's hair. But I just want to say thank you. Cheryl said, I love that you are fearless, creative. Hello, Color Kits Genius, and authentic in every way.
Thank you.
Customer service above and beyond. Yes, it's important. The details matter. Your passion just like spews out of you in every orifice, and I love it. So, anyways, I appreciate you, and I think that was a good first episode. So, anyway, y'all check back with us at 10 o'clock next week. I'll be announcing who that person is. This will be an ongoing 10 o'clock every Thursday series called The Guts to Fail. And tune in next Thursday for episode 2. Thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate it.
You're the best, Brooklyn.
Thank you. Bye.